allemaal, welkom bij Dutch TV en opnieuw vanuit de studio. We kunnen nu iets dieper ingaan op sommige onderwerpen en vandaag gaan we het hebben over de tweede en de derde generatie Nederlanders en hoe belangrijk de Nederlandse cultuur is. En ik heb een oproep gedaan op mijn Dutch TV Australia Facebook. Zach ken ik al en deze twee andere mensen die Nick en Daniela hebben daarop gereageerd. En ja, ik denk niet dat deze drie mensen mij verstaan. Dus ik denk dat ik... Ofwel, verstaan jullie mij? You understand me?
Een beetje.
Klein beetje?
No, I don't.
No?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So, I was at Zach's place and then I filmed you about your mom being a second generation. And maybe nice to have a look to that clip and then later we talk about that and then we go further with the conversation.
No worries.
Ja?
Vandaag ga ik langs bij Therese, een vrouw die pas op latere leeftijd meer en meer is gaan ontdekken van haar Nederlandse roots.
Pleased to see you.
Oh, ik ben Rob. Oh, yeah. Oh, free. Oh,
Good
so
sir.
you know that. Do we
I know
speak
that.
Dutch or do we speak English?
English, please.
Okay, okay.
Klein beetje for my Dutch.
Okay.
I should have thought about this. If there's anything I would say that I'm proud of, I am very proud of my Dutch heritage.
Yes.
I sort of always was, but not hugely. But my son went to a school, a boys' school, just locally, that had lots of different nationalities.
Yeah.
He was like 12, 13 then when he started, and he said, Mum, you know, we're Dutch, aren't we? And it all started, they had a multicultural day.
Yeah.
And every family was brought on to say, well, where are you from? So he goes, oh, we're Dutch. He goes, Mum, I've told them you'll cook some food, some Dutch food. I'm going like, really? Like Dutch food? Like, I don't know, like what do you want me to do? Yeah, and here I was making poffertjes. Well, was I making poffertjes? I just could not keep up with the amount of these poffertjes I was
Everybody
making.
liked them.
And I managed to get like a Dutch flag, and I dressed my son and myself up in this little Dutch outfit, and off we were going. And from then on, he was obsessed with our Dutch heritage. So it was really him who started asking me all these questions about where Mum was from, where Dad was from, and all that sort of stuff. So over the years, you know, we had that sort of interest, and I'd always promised him that I'd take him back to Holland. So when he was about 20, he very naughty asked my mother, his Oma, for a picture of this windmill that he had, and she had told him it was her favourite windmill, and he went and had it tattooed on his shoulder. He took this windmill, which is a picture my mum always had in her home, that I had watched and watched and watched, and I could have, you can imagine, killed him. Anyway, then 6 years ago, lo and behold, I met a Dutchman who was born in Holland, and had come over here. He was in WA, had a vineyard over there, and we actually met in Sydney. We didn't meet in any of our states, and that has really opened up a huge heritage for us.
Yeah. So, when you grew up here in Australia, you never felt different than any other?
I definitely felt different.
Yes. Why was that?
Probably one of my funniest stories. It's not really a Dutch story, but it was an interesting story. I went to a Catholic primary school. We were in Gippsland, dairy farmers, and we were taken to... I was pulled out of class, in the middle of a class, and I was introduced to this young girl who was my age. I was like in grade 1 or grade 2, and I was in a place called Iona, and the nun said to me, Sister Bernadette, you have to look after her. She's from your area. I'm going like, my area? Like I didn't know exactly what that meant, but I went, okay. So I sort of grabbed this girl's hand and you have to take her back to class. So I spoke to her. She's just looking at me bewildered. Anyway, she just didn't talk to me. I'm thinking, oh, well, she's shy, you know, she's just come and all of this. Anyway, then I went home and I told my mother, you know, the people, she lives just up the road. And, you know, she's from, I don't know, our area. My mother says, oh, she must be Dutch. I said, she must be. She doesn't speak to me. She doesn't ask me. So Mum gets me and we get some biscuits and because you know, we're on a dirt road, we're on our bikes riding up to this family's home. And she introduces herself in Dutch, very proudly chatting away to them. And they go, oh, sorry, we're from Yugoslavia. And Mum said, like, it was just really interesting when we went back to the nun and asked her, she classified us because we were different, that we must be from sort of the same area.
Yeah.
And that was something that was my first recognition. It's like, oh, I come from this really different area.
Someone, you know, spotted you as from a different area, but did you feel different in character or the way you were, did you felt like, oh, Australians do things differently than my parents and the way I do it?
I didn't notice it that much because we didn't have that much exposure other than at primary school, during school hours that we were different. But as I said, my mum sort of managed to give us more, quote, normal food. Yeah, so that. But yeah, I definitely noticed going to church. There's a photo that I've got here that shows of all of us, the 7 of us, the 2 younger ones weren't born, and it was taken before church. And there was this incredible pressure to look perfect and well groomed, and that I'd go like, why do we have to do that? Because no one else goes to church like that. Why do we have to look so nice and groomed? So those sort of things, I just thought it was my mother. It wasn't until as an adult, and I'm talking, I was 45, that I went to Holland and I went like, okay, I am different. That's why I'm like that. And all these childhood memories started flooding back to me that made me realise when I went into my auntie's house, I'm going like, this is like my mother's house.
Yeah.
Another auntie, the way my auntie spoke, like something, I always have lots of jewellery and trinkets things on, and my cousin said, oh, you're just like, you're such a Timmermans, It's like, oh, they all love their jewellery, those girls. So all these things that started coming to me, I realised that I was different. At the time, I don't think I really realised it. But yes, definitely when I went back to Holland and I could see these behaviour patterns, I thought, and I have got friends who've always thought I was a little bit, unusual, but I just thought that was my personality.
Yeah.
But I definitely do think it's a bit of a Dutch thing.
Yes, it was formed much more than you knew, and you realised later that the way you were raised
was very Dutch.
That your mother kept, and you just thought it was normal.
The eating, the way we were placed on the table, must sit at the table, the food in the centre, no way were we ever sitting on a couch, all those things, the keeping your Sunday best, your good clothes, all those type of things. The cooking, Mum preserved a lot of fruits and vegetables. And going back into my auntie's, and she showed me around in the garden, and there was that tin that they would do all the vegetables and the fruits and cook them on for seasons. But she had the exact same thing that my mum, and my mum brought them over from Holland. But as I said, I didn't realise as a child. I thought everybody did that.
Hello.
Aha. You're
Zachary.
Zachary.
Yes, hello.
It's
Therese's son, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Great.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Aha, I see it already. That's your mum talked about this.
Yes, it's a windmill that my Oma gave me a picture of, so I got it specifically done.
Why in heaven's sake have you done that?
Because I'm very proud of my Dutch culture. I always have been as a little kid because of my Oma and sitting down and listening to stories when I was a younger kid. Also, Hazer is where it's from. And she gave me, as I said, a picture of it, and she said because I love listening about a Dutch family and heritage. So she said that's where I was from and where I was born, and that's the exact windmill. That's why I got it done. And I love it. I don't regret it at all.
But you couldn't just put Holland or something on it, but you had to be a windmill.
I had to go completely overboard. Yes.
Have you ever been there? Have you ever seen the windmill and stuff?
I've actually got a photo of myself doing the same pose with the windmill in the back of behind me. So, which is a very cool photo.
How was it to set foot on the place where your Oma used to grow up and live?
Very great and warm feeling, because you walk in there, you always go to Oma's place and it's just a normal house that she's been there for years and years and years, and then you go and see back to how she lived and what she did at your age is just a completely different ball game. Just different lifestyle altogether. Everyone rode bikes, and I'll be honest with you, I can't remember last time I rode a bike. So that's what she used to do, and she used to tell me how far she used to ride And I used to say that you're crazy, that's a long way.
Yeah.
But that's what they did. There's a couple of little bits and pieces that Mum doesn't know about yet, but my next 2 tattoos that I want to get done is Omar came over here on the Queen Elizabeth.
No, the
Himalaya, sorry. And part of this tattoo I want to get the Himalaya boat there, down on my arm, as well, and maybe a couple of tulips as well. Just so that I love my heritage, and why not? Unfortunately, I don't speak Dutch, which is very bad on my behalf, but I'm going to get there. So
I can't blame you.
It's a very hard language to learn.
Yeah.
So
a new tattoo.
Am I allowed to say, can we edit that? Yeah, that's a new one. Look, I personally don't love tattoos, but you know, with all the young kids and things doing that, I think I prefer that it at least is something, that it would mean something.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you see people that have tattoos and you say, what does that mean? And they go, I just like the picture or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, they have a Chinese symbol, and it stands for.
Yeah, well, exactly. When they don't have any Chinese heritage. So yeah, the tattoo is new to me, but I can understand him thinking that way. But at first, when he had that tattoo, I kind of like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of used to it now.
I'm not going to get a dragon. I'm not going to get Chinese writing, because most of the time the Chinese writing, you know, you say love and it means something else.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I won't go into details what some of them could say, but they do.
Yeah.
Where at least everything that I've done, it's got to do with my background, and I really don't mind. And it doesn't faze me if people don't like it, because at the end of the day, it's what I wanted. It's what my heritage, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. So. Aha, hier zit je verborgen, hallo. Hallo. Gevraagd met Therese over haar Nederlandsheid. Merk jij dat ook? Dat ze veel Nederlands in zich heeft? Of vind je het wel meevallen?
Ik denk dat het in de laatste 5 jaar toch wel een beetje, sinds wij elkaar kennen, toch wel een beetje gegroeid is.
Ja.
In het begin was het geen punt voor mij of ze nou Nederlands was of niet. Het was wel grappig dat ik haar moeder ontmoette en die was inderdaad erg direct en erg Nederlands. En ook voor mij erg representatief voor het gedeelte van Nederland waar ze vandaan is. Limburg, Brabant, echt open, spontaan. En natuurlijk toch wel iets anders dan waar ik vandaan kom, waar iedereen wat meer gereserveerd is. En,
waar is dat dan?
Ik kom uit het Westland.
Ja.
Echt het Hollandse. En wat in mijn ogen toch totaal, en daar klaagt Therese wel eens mee, dat totaal anders is dan het beneden de rivieren gedeelte van Nederland.
Ja.
En haar moeder spontaan en joviaal. En als Nederlanders kijk je toch altijd iets meer de kat uit de boom. En dat was bij haar totaal niet het geval. En zij is een Hollandse die in Australië geboren is en opgegroeid is. En wat je wel kan merken is dat ze opgegroeid is in een groot gezin. Ja. En mijn ouders die waren ook boerenafkomst, allebei hele grote gezinnen. En
maar hoe zit het met jou? Wanneer ben jij naar Australië gekomen dan?
Ik ben in Australië terechtgekomen via... Ik ben in de midden 80 jaar uit Nederland vertrokken. Ja. Eerst 10 jaar in Amerika gewoond en toen ongeveer 10 jaar in Engeland. En nu ongeveer een goede 10 jaar geleden ben ik in West-Australië terechtgekomen. En zoals Therese al uitgelegd heeft, puur toeval, kwamen we elkaar in Sydney tegen.
Goed. Ja. En binnenkort you're gonna tie the knot?
Ja, we will. Ja, precies hoe en wanneer en waar, dat hebben we nog niet helemaal voor geregeld. Nee. Maar dat het gaat gebeuren, dat is wel een feit.
Goed. Well, thank you both. And I hope, I think you're a great couple when you both represent Australia and Holland in one family, and so it's really nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you as well.
Graag gedaan.
Wauw, how was it for you to see this back?
Yeah, it was very, very weird. Seeing Mum, not that she's weird, but seeing Mum and myself was a bit, was cool. Had a fun experience of filming, and yeah, as you see, there's a bit of detail on why I got the tattoo done in the first place. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Can you show the tattoo to Daniela or something?
Very nice.
So yeah, so
Yeah, very good.
yeah, so
Dutch
I'm gonna.
clogs.
Yeah, the clogs,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna add a couple of quilts in there in the future, and yeah.
Yeah, so when is that going to happen?
When we organise a time to film doing it.
Oh, cool. So the
And I get the
pressure is
money.
on. Yeah. So, Daniela, do you have anything like this in your life, and why?
Not as far as tattoos, but yeah, at my house we have a lot of Delftblauw decoration everywhere. We have clogs at the front of the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of decorations. We still eat the food and everything. Stroopwafels,
Yeah.
speculaas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it at your place as well? You have clocks and that sort of things?
Oh, I have a small pair, and like there's a few things around like tulips in the gardens and all that, but it's mainly just like the food and all that sort of thing that we keep going.
Yeah. And so it's the keeping the Dutch culture alive for you guys. Why is that important?
Well, for me personally, it's my identity. It's who my ancestors are. You know, my oma and opa speak the language at home to my parents. So yeah, it's a part of who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what you were saying in the clip as well, eh? Like.
Yeah, it's all about being where, you know, and Australia is such a multicultural country that why not? You know, like you hear about all these other nationalities, and why not promote you being Dutch? I mean, we've got nothing to hide. Well, some of us don't. But I mean, I've got a flag in my car. I've got my Oma gave me a flag, and I sit in the back of my car, and if anyone toots at me, I'm just you know, so.
Yeah.
And you know, so yeah, no, I think why wouldn't we? That's the question is why wouldn't we?
Yeah. So what is for you guys the helpful here in Australia to keep that Dutchness alive? How do you do that?
Friends, and get your family involved and stuff like that. There's a lot of on the website, on Facebook and everything. You know, you guys promote what's happening in events, and it's just keeping an eye on that, and also you know encouraging your friends to go. I went to don't know the Dutch word, but I went to the Orange Party.
Yeah.
And I brought a couple of most Australian guys you could ever think of, and they had an absolute ball.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's about showing where your culture's from.
What is interesting for you?
Well, for me, I mean, we basically just do what we were brought up with. I mean, all the food, everything. It's pretty much, we don't know any different, so it was always what Oma and Opa did, and that was right, and that's how you did it.
Yeah.
Don't know any different.
Yeah. So what did Opa and Oma? What did they do?
Well, with like the paper noches and speculaas all the time, and yeah, basically all the food and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. What is interesting for you?
You involve the younger generation
Yeah,
more.
that's what it's
Yeah.
more the younger
Yeah.
generation, like the 18s and yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they don't grow up in Netherlands, and you know, with the last generation, with Oma and Opas, and I think that's it. You know, with the third generation, it's hard to get connected to being Dutch again. So
Yeah.
I think that's what's more important.
Like a
Yeah.
balance to make it relatable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Still,
exactly.
because like
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff like Omas and Opas, like I have friends and that come over out from Holland,
Yeah.
and they go, oh, that's how things happened 40, 50 years ago, but it's not like that now.
Yeah.
No, that's
So
right.
it's kind
Yeah.
of like, even when you do have that, it's kind of like you're in a vacuum where it's like we're still practicing like it was at the end of like in the 50s and that, because we haven't caught up, because we do everything the way our grandparents did.
Yeah.
We don't know what
What
it
new
is to be Dutch now.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
We know what it used to be
Yeah, so
to be
it's like-
Dutch, but we don't know what it is
Yeah.
today if we were to go over there.
Yeah.
So
So in other words, bring the New Holland back into
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Okay. For you guys, then it's actually the new clip that we will do after this topic.
Yeah.
Will be interesting. It is about new innovation in the Netherlands, and that is I don't know if you hear about it, TEDx.
No.
TEDx talks. and it's about new inventions in the Netherlands. So that will be an interesting topic for you guys to see what is new in the Netherlands, so we can see. So maybe we can watch that together. I already want to thank you so much for coming to the studio. It was really good to have you guys here. And thank you for the tip to get Dutch.
Just call Tiesto.
Get him down here.
Really good. Okay, we will watch the clip and then we call Tiesto.
Thank you for being on the jury. It's been quite a ride. And we've decided to give you the privilege to pick one of the other ideas that you thought were particularly interesting. So, which idea did you pick?
Well, we can already guess a bit because we came here with a fantastic device with the Stella.
Yes.
And I would like to invite Roy and Lex from the team to the stage. So, this is you all know this race in Australia, and it's all the solar-powered cars, and it's all fast and so, but it's always with one person. This is new because they came with Stella, University Eindhoven, and that was a family car. So, you were part of that team. How did you get involved?
Well, we got involved. What we saw was that there were these solar racing cars, extremely efficient on solar energy. It's amazing. But there was a huge gap between these cars and ordinary cars. So we tried to fill in that gap. That's what we tried to do. So with 20 students of Eindhoven University of Technology, the past 1.5 years, we completely focused on this project and building the world's first family car on solar energy.
Okay. What was the dream? What did you have in mind? Did it work out as you thought it would be?
The dream was, of course, to create a car that can drive up to 800 kilometers on a single charge. Not like the normal electric cars today, they can only drive 200 kilometers. And you can do that by making the car much more energy efficient, make it more aerodynamic, more efficient, and especially a lot lighter, because our car is 380 kilos. And when you compare that to a normal car of 1.5 tons, that's a huge difference. So it can make cars much more fuel efficient, and by that, and adding a solar panel, you can drive up to 800 kilometers on a single charge. So from here to the south of France.
So we have all these viewing points. So if I would like to go to Prague just now, I could make it with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on this weather, right here in the Netherlands, we can drive 700 kilometers. And this is, of course, great if you want to go to the viewing party or want to go on a holiday. But what does this mean for everyday use? Well, as most people came here with a car, all your cars are now standing still and actually doing nothing, whereas our car is actually generating energy. And we did the calculations that even here in the Netherlands, this car would generate more energy than it uses. And that's a huge turnaround in mobility, that for the first time, the mobile device itself is generating the energy and even more, so you can feed that back to the grid.
So how do you... Okay, right. Very good. So you drive, you store the energy, and then what? You just connect to the grid? How do you do it?
Yes, exactly. You can. You don't even have to plug in your car anymore. You have a car that just keeps on driving. That's ultimate freedom, right? You don't have to fuel your car. Just have a car that drives. Don't worry about the energy.
So this is a prototype. You won the race, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the future?
Well, of course. Yes, this is the prototype, but what we want to do is, two things. One is that we are now assembling a new team to compete in the World Solar Challenge yet again, to represent Eindhoven again. But the second thing is, of course, the bigger dream, that we want to see these kind of cars that you can go to your local dealership and buy a solar car. So we truly believe, and that's what we're working on, that within 10 years, you can do so. You can go to your local shop and say, hey, I want one of those Stella cars. That's the dream. Okay,
so I can buy a car soon?
In 10 years, you'll be able to buy a car, yeah.
Sounds good. I'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Dank jullie wel voor het kijken naar Dutch TV. En volgende week zijn we er weer met een nieuwe aflevering. Tot dan.